All right. Hello. Yeah. So I haven't been posting a lot, or at all, and believed it throughout the entirety of June, and it's mostly because, well, I've lacked motivation, for various reasons. First of all, the entire situation that's been going on, you name it, really. There's so much going on in the world right now, but yeah, it's just mostly, of course, the Black Lives Matter movement, which has been going on throughout the U.S. And well, I haven't been posting much. I've been posting on my story, but not on my actual posts. I've not been putting anything up there regarding the Black Lives Matter movement. And so I wanted to make a video about it, explaining or talking about it and saying why I think it's important, things like that. I have a list of some points that I want to talk about in this video. So I tried to organize as much. I would have made this video earlier, but the month of June was a very messy month for me. I had tests. I also had to recently. I had to organize a birthday, my own birthday, with my mom. So there's a lot of stuff that was going on. But I finally got the chance to sit down and make a video. It will be very messy and not super organized, but so long I get the message across, I think that it'll be okay. I want to keep this short though, so yeah. Um, Firstly, I want to say, if you believe that the Black Lives Matter movement is useless or pointless or dumb or it's not going to fix anything, if any of that applies to you, then I want to ask you to please stay, because I want to change your mind. I feel like that's a very important part of argumenting. Changing your mind and allowing yourself to change your mind is something that makes you smarter. So if you think that the Black Lives Matter movement is stupid or bad or anything as such, please stay, and I want to explain to you why it is important. So firstly, the Black Lives Matter movement is important. I hope that this is obvious, is because Black lives are actually in danger. This isn't something that people are making up. They are actually in danger of things that we could easily fix, but people are not willing to fix because they're scared of losing their privilege. So a lot of something that people say a lot, or I've been seeing a lot, is that people say that Black Lives Matter movement is dumb because people are fighting over something that doesn't exist, such as white on black violence. And I feel like people are missing the point if you think that that's what we're fighting for. If we're fighting for the fact that white people are violent towards black people, that's not just what we're fighting for. Of course, it's part of the problem, but the problem is not that there's white on black crime. You might be thinking, or people say that black on black crime is far higher than white on black crime. That's true. These statistics are true, but you have to look at the reason as to why these statistics are true. It's not because black lives don't matter and that they're destroying themselves. Is that they're forced into this situation. They're forced into this situation because of systemic racism. You can look that up, because I feel like if I go too long over it, I'll make the video too long and people will probably get bored, although you shouldn't, because it's important. But to explain it shortly, it's basically that the system of the country does not give the same chances to people of different races besides white people. White people have better chances. It is a problem because people are forced into situations, both because the country doesn't provide new chances, but also because the country sticks to the generational problems that a family could have had, especially in black neighborhoods, poor neighborhoods. Unfortunately, they've become almost synonymous in the United States. For example, if you try to compare the schools of a white neighborhood versus a black neighborhood, the white neighborhood schools are far better funded. That's because they're funded by the neighborhood and not by the country or the state or anything as such, which makes the school obviously a lot less worse if you have a neighborhood that's specifically forced to be poor, because these neighborhoods are not poor because the people there are lazy or don't want work. It's because the system has forced them to be poor. And it's a big problem. Like, people have to realize that the reason as to why black people are in the situation that they're in is not because black people are lazy or because they sit on their bum all day, as some people say. People think that this is just a trait that this race has, which is absolutely ludicrous. It's because the system has pushed them into this situation. The reason as to why black on black crime is so high, the reason as to why there are so many people of color in prisons, is not because people of color or raised to be criminals, but it's because they've been forced into a criminal position. They've been forced into a criminal position by the system in their country, and this is what we're fighting. We're not fighting the fact that white people are attacking black people or that cops are attacking black people because of nothing. We're fighting the fact that the system is not allowing black people to be anything but treated like this. That's what we're fighting, and that's what's important. Of course, this is all incited by the George Floyd situation, which honestly, it's just, I can't believe that people try to justify the policemen that were responsible for this. There's no justification anywhere in this. He was murdered, and it's clear with evidence, especially with how people in previous situations have found, say, Breonna Taylor or Elijah McClain, you name it. There's so many cases in which people choose to murder people because policemen should be trained and are trained citizens, and or not citizens, I'm sorry, they are trained people that should know how to handle situations, but they don't. And that's a choice, because they are trained. They should know how to handle situations in which a person can act erratically. They shouldn't just feel threatened and fire a gun. That is not what we're expecting from people that are supposed to protect us. So I feel like it's a clear choice that we should defund the police or just completely abolish the police system. It shouldn't exist because the police system does not do its job. And I'm glad that the Black Lives Matter movements have the Black Lives Matter movement has reached the point in which Minnesota has officially Minneapolis has officially just abolished the police department. There is no Minneapolis Police Department anymore, and that's amazing. It's a step forward, and this is when people say that these petitions and these protests don't do anything. They do. And it's this that the abolition of a police department is perfect proof of that, and we need to keep going. We need to keep going to reach our goals. Next, I wanted to say that I'm happy about this. I'm happy not about the situation and what's going on with the world, but rather I'm happy with how people are dealing with it. I'm happy that people are going out and protesting. I'm happy that people are waking up. The world is waking up. People are realizing that we are under a constant oppression by, you name it, by rich people, by people in power, by politicians. We're constantly in oppression. Whether you're a minority or a majority or anything, just we're constantly under oppression by these people, because these people have us as puppets. They just pull strings and they decide our lives for us. And people are realizing this. They have been realizing this, but now we're moving. We're going forwards, and we're fighting against that because we won't tolerate it anymore. Personally, I think that that's amazing. It's amazing that we're realizing how bad the world situation is, and we're waking up and we're moving forward. People are talking about everything. They're talking about situations in foreign countries. The Black Lives Matter protests have achieved global recognition. It's not just in the United States now, it's globally. People from islands that have nothing to do with the United States are protesting. People from European countries, people from Asian countries, you name it. Everyone is together in this, and that just, it makes me happy to know that people are realizing what kind of a world we're in, and they're against it. To me, it's very inspiring, and that's part of the reason as to why I wanted to make this video, because I feel like if I stay silent, I am choosing the side of the oppression. I am choosing the side of the oppressor if I don't do anything, if I'm completely neutral. And I really felt the need to make this video, and hopefully it doesn't, I feel very awkward making this because I suppose I'm camera shy, but I hope that this, it clears your mind, or it makes you feel positive despite the negativity of all of this, because this is a good thing. It's a good thing that people are waking up. It's a good thing that we're moving forwards together. And next, I wanted to talk about, we shouldn't give up, because I feel like people will think that the Black Lives Matter movement is done. We did what we could, and that's it. Well, I want to incite more protests. I want to incite more people moving and participating in these movements, because the second that we stop protesting, the second that we stop demanding human rights, the people in power will just take a hold of that. People in power will take a hold of this, of our weak spot or our opening, and they'll strike, and we'll lose all the progress that we've made. So I asked you, if you are in the United States or a country that has these problems, please continue protesting. Please, if you have people that are planning on protesting, tell them to protest more. God, sorry. Tell them to protest more, because it's important that we keep protesting, because without these protests, people will start, they'll start lazying about again about the fact the world is horrible, that the situation which we have in this world now is not right. So keep the world awake. The world has woken up, but we need to keep it awake, and that's your job, the young people's job, because clearly most of the time old people don't care anymore. They have no reason to care anymore. But well, not really. Just yeah, we gotta keep going. We gotta keep going with these movements, because we can't let go of that. We can't just stop doing this. We need to continue on. And yeah, I want to, this isn't for like attention. I want attention, so please share this video. But I want you to share this video to people who can have an impact. I want you to share this video to people who you feel are going to, or not you feel, that they're going to protest and things like that, because I want them to know that if you keep fighting, you'll reach your goal. Like, you can't just stop now. We've only started. This needs to be going on for years, and I want it to go on for years, because if we stop now, the people that have the power, the people that enjoy this oppression, the people that benefit from this oppression, they're gonna get their power back in an instant, because they've built up their position for that. They've built up their position to keep the people that they don't want in power oppressed, so that they can become mighty and powerful and revered by everyone. And so I ask you to tell the people going to protest to keep protesting. Keep this as long as you can. Annoy people about this. Annoy people about these problems, because I want people to be angry. I want people to be annoyed by how the world is right now. I want them to realize that this isn't right. And again, sorry if the video is awkward, and if I probably said maybe some things that were misinformation or things that were a bit off, but I mean this all in good heart. I just want to see this as something that doesn't just stop. I don't want this to be a trend. And yeah, the video is reaching 13 minutes now. I don't want to make it annoying for everyone, but I feel like it's important to say this, and especially since I've been so quiet, I wanted to say this, and I wanted to make this video. And again, sorry for this awkward and probably moving my hands a lot, the amount of times that I've hit my keyboard, because I'm in front of my keyboard. That's where I set up my camera. This is basically all I have. I just have my phone with me. That's why the quality is kind of bad, and I have a couple of bullet points written on a piece of paper over there, and that's it. But yeah, just please spread this if you can, or if you want to, you can spread the news by typing it out. I don't want the attention. I want the attention to go to the movement, not me. I'm not the important piece of the puzzle here. So thank you for watching this. Thank you for taking your time to watch this, and stay strong.